We finally have Cerise's supervillain look, the background story of Tomoe and Gabriel, and information clues about the future of Miraculous. The episode Yaksi Gozen is amazing, and if you're ready, let's deep dive into it. 1. Cerise and Chrysalis appearance. So, let's start with Cerise's appearance in this episode. And wow, there's so much to unpack here. In the first few scenes of Cerise, we see her in her civilian form next to Tomoe. She's wearing her usual dark pink outfit, which we saw in the latest episodes of Season 5. Everything looks okay, but something about her body language already tells us that she's plotting something. She walks in so casually and very confidently. What immediately caught everyone's attention was that moment when she greeted Tomoe by saying, "Hey mom." This line shocked so many fans. Seriously, the fandom went crazy after that scene. People instantly started questioning whether Cerise could actually be Tomoe's daughter. But let's be real, I personally don't think that's the case. Cerise is manipulative. She loves to play mind games and twist people's emotions. So to me, that "hey mom" wasn't affection, it was mockery. It felt like she was taunting Tomoe's relationship with Kagami, maybe trying to show how she can easily step into that role or emotionally corner her. It's a psychological trick. Cerise is known for using words to break people down, and I believe this was one of those moments. Then we move to another scene, which is iconic, because we see her transformation scene where Cerise finally becomes Chrysalis, the new holder of the butterfly Miraculous. From my perspective, this transformation feels like a perfect evolution of what Hawkmoth used to be. Her suit design is sharp, pure, and dangerous at the same time. The glowing purple lines and those butterfly-like antennas make her look both beautiful and terrifying. Her gray hair gives her a ghostly, almost soulless appearance, like she's completely detached from her emotions now. It is for sure that she doesn't act like a copy of Gabriel. She's her own kind of villain, more cunning and unpredictable. When she appears next to Tomoe, you can sense the power difference. Tomoe looks loyal, but Cerise looks like she's testing her. And personally, I love that dynamic. It's not a boss and servant relationship, it's two people who both think they're in charge, and that tension makes every scene between them more exciting. I also want to point it out that I'm so happy to see Cerise in both civilian and villain look. Actually, waiting her appearance till the next season would be too long. So I think the producers did good job on that. But of course, as always, I wonder what you guys think about it.
Vous aidez? Ça doit être difficile de jouer les gentils mamans.
2. Possible betrayal. Now let's talk about something that I believe almost no one really noticed. And it is the possible betrayal. Because I think the seeds for that were clearly planted in this episode. In the continuation of the episode, Cerise explains her master plan to Tomoe, and the plan includes our superhero group, the Miraculous. She says that once Tomoe gets akumatized, Chrysalis will enter Tomoe's robot body and trap Felix inside it. Then, they'll swap his amok object to gain full control over him. After that, Cerise will have a chance to use Felix as a spy among the superhero team. And at first, the plan actually works. Felix gets trapped inside Yaksi Gozen, but luckily, he only has Kagami's Centimonster object with him, not his own. That small detail saves him. It is really just a coincidence that saved the fate of the superheroes. But here's what really interests me. Cerise's reaction to that failure. She doesn't look frustrated or desperate. She looks like she's already calculating her next move. That's what makes her dangerous. She doesn't rely on emotion, she relies on logic. And from her perspective, Felix just became her #1 target. Now that she's officially working with Tomoe, she has access to more information, resources, and technology. She's not going to stop here. And personally, I think she's not just aiming at Felix anymore. She's studying everyone. Every hero, every miraculous holder, every weakness. And honestly, I'm calling it now. We're going to see her turn one of the minor heroes into an ally. Because we know that she doesn't just fight people physically, she gets inside their heads.
J'ai compris. Et vous avez besoin de moi pour les mettre en sécurité, c'est ça?
Oui, Marinette, c'est exact.
3. Chrysalis and Tomoe's partnership. Now let's look at Chrysalis and Tomoe's partnership, because this alliance is getting more interesting than ever. At first, it seems like they're just working together for this one plan. But when we take Cerise's mind into consideration, I don't think that she will leave Tomoe that early. After all, we know that Tomoe is not an ordinary woman or a victim that transformed into an akumatized villain. She's even further than what Gabriel ever was. She has the intelligence, the connections, and the high-tech background that Gabriel used to rely on. So it's easy to see why Cerise would keep her close. I think Chrysalis sees Tomoe as more than a pawn. She sees her as a long-term ally, maybe even as a tool to build something much bigger than Monarch ever did. The dangerous part here is Kagami. She's the current holder of the dragon Miraculous, and has no idea her mother is working with the new butterfly holder. That makes her the perfect key in all this. If Chrysalis and Tomoe use Kagami's position wisely, they could gain access to Ladybug and Cat Noir's circle without raising suspicion.
Je vous pardonne, mère.
4. Argos and Kagami. Let's talk about Argos and Kagami. In these scenes in Marinette's house, we see their superhero looks. Argos wears his usual dark blue outfit with the glowing purple lines, and a hood that gives him a mysterious vibe. Kagami, on the other hand, looks powerful in her red and black suit as Ryuko, with golden dragon details that match her Miraculous. I think this is one of the closest look of Argos until now. We're able to see his suit in detail. But of course, this part has an important moment. So now, let's talk about that funny but also very important moment. In Yaksi Gozen, Marinette, Felix, and Kagami almost got caught. When Kagami and Felix came to Marinette's house to give her their Amic objects, Adrien suddenly appeared and questioned what they were doing. If you ask me, this scene wasn't just random. I really think it was done on purpose. As the episodes go on, Adrien might start putting the pieces together and realize that his girlfriend, Marinette, could actually be Ladybug. Even Marinette's parents comment that they didn't see these two coming, which already sounds suspicious. When you put all the details together, it makes perfect sense. Marinette, Felix, and Kagami were clearly looking for the Sentimonster objects, and Adrien already knows about them too. If Cerise ever tells Adrien the truth, it wouldn't be hard for him to connect everything. It feels like the story is slowly preparing for that reveal. But maybe I sound too negative. I don't really know. Thus, I wait for your comments on that specific scene. After that, I want to talk about another specific thing, which is Kagami's transformation. We finally got to see her full transformation sequence as Ryuko. After Tomoe found Kagami in Marinette's house, and chaos started among the heroes, Kagami transformed right there. I still remember her first transformation back in Yaksi Gozen. It was super short and didn't really show how powerful or graceful she is. But this new version is amazing. She first changes her hair, then her arms, and finally her whole body. After her sword appears, she gives her final pose. Everything about it feels iconic and strong, and it finally gives Ryuko the spotlight she deserves. But there's one thing that really confused me. Why did she transform in public? Okay, maybe Cerise and Tomoe already know her superhero identity, but it still doesn't make sense. Anyone in Paris could have seen that moment. If someone with bad intentions had witnessed it, they could easily target her or try to steal her Miraculous. It's a strange choice, and I hope the show gives us a reason for that later on.
Toujours pas ce que vous faites là?
5. How everything started in Reposte. One of the most interesting things in this episode is how it connects back to Reposte. We finally learned that what happened in Reposte wasn't random. It was actually part of a plan all along. In one scene, we hear Gabriel and Tomoe talking, and that call explains everything. It turns out that Tomoe and Gabriel worked together from the very beginning. They arranged for Kagami to appear in Paris on purpose. The goal was to bring Adrien and Kagami closer and, at the same time, secretly continue their joint project in the background. That's why, in Reposte, Kagami suddenly appears out of nowhere and becomes so important in Adrien's life. What a perfect manipulation, right? Tomoe wanted her daughter to have a bond with Adrien, and Gabriel wanted to use that connection for his own advantage. But behind everything, they were planning something much bigger. When you look back now, everything matches perfectly. From their cooperation to their shared goals, it's clear that what happened in Reposte was the start of everything we're seeing now in Season 6. So we can say that this episode doesn't only continue the story, but showing the background too. And honestly, I love how the writers are connecting all of this. It makes the whole story feel more complete. We finally understand why Kagami was always near Adrien, why her mother was involved with Gabriel, and how all of that led to Cerise and Tomoe's alliance now. And the video ends here. And you guys, what do you think about that? If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one!